In part 1 of this lecture, we styled the footer so it's nicely laid out on a desktop type of size browser. In this lecture, we're going to concentrate on styling the footer so it works nicely even on smaller screen sizes, such as tablet and even mobile screen sizes. Okay, so this is all and well when we're in a full desktop mode, but what happens when we squeeze the browser a bit? Let's see what's going on. So you can see here, first of all, it jumped and kind of squeezed itself a little bit. Well, that's a good thing. So if we go back and get a little bit more tight here, it's still squeezing pretty well. And if we go back all the way here, we could see that it's pretty good. We see that the HR here showed up, and it's pretty good. The only thing is, of course, it looks like it's a little bit too close maybe, and it certainly would be nice if these things became centered in the screen instead of going to the left. Let's go ahead and see if we could do something about that. So let's go back to our code editor, and I believe I have some pre-made styles here, and we're clearly trying to target the extra small media query. So let's scroll down to the extra small media query. There it is right here, and we'll go down to the last one after the header, and we'll place our styles right here. We'll copy and paste them. Let's go over them real quick. Number one is we kind of increasing the margin bottom to 30 pixels. I believe it was a little bit smaller before. And the sections are now going to be text aligned center. Okay, so now we're saying we're targeting every section within that panel footer, and we're aligning them center and making the margin bottom larger. However, on the very last one, in the very last section, we already have a margin applied to it from the previous styles just as a general desktop version. So we wouldn't want to add another margin to the section again. So what we're doing is we're saying margin bottom is 0 because the margin already exists on the entire row. So the nth child 3, the third section, right, the testimonials in this case, will not get another margin because they already have one from the row. And just to make it look a little nicer, instead of having HR go all the way across the screen, what we're doing is saying we want to target that section horizontal rule and want to make its width 50% of the screen. And it will look like a nice, neat little separation line between the sections. Okay, we could save that and go back to our browser. And take a look at this. Now it's all centered, and there's like a nice little line in between. And we don't have double margins here, and it seems to look pretty good. So if we test it and see how it's looking at different sizes, this is looking pretty well. And if we stretch it out, it should, when it gets to small, it will go to 3-column layout. And as we stretch it out, everything looks pretty good. And we could see that on the bottom, it's all separated and nicely aligned. Very good. So this is our footer, and this is really the end of the main page. Next, we're going to start looking at the sub pages. Those are the pages you're going to be able to get to by clicking either this menu tile or the special tiles. And obviously, we're going to have to drill down once we get to the menu categories to be able to drill down to each particular menu item.